Welcome back to the Jake Asman Show on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need a mortgage that fits your life? Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
Ohtani crushes one deep right field. Goodbye. Welcome to New York, Shohei Ohtani.
The Batman has arrived in Gotham City. 26th home run. Look how far that baseball went. That is a curveball that Ohtani hits out.
Bally Sports West with the call there. Shohei Ohtani's Major League leading 26th home run. It gave the Angels a 1-0 lead. They would go on to beat the Yankees in the Bronx 5-3. Yankees have now lost 4 straight after they were embarrassed by the Red Sox over the weekend. They follow that up after their manager, Aaron Boone, said in the pregame yesterday that their season's on the line by going out there and losing 5-3 to an Angels team that's not very good. But right now, guess what? The Yankees aren't very good. So what does it all mean? And all you need to know about this game is that Dylan Bundy of the Angels throws up on the mound. And the joke wasn't about Dylan Bundy. The joke was, oh, well, he's just representing how the Yankees have been this season. Vomit-inducing. That's all you need to know. And the Yankees are so pathetic right now. They're down by 2 runs going into the 9th inning. They have the middle of the lineup up. They need to get a runner. Get somebody on base just to bring the tying run to the plate. And Stanton, Luke Voit, and Gleyber Torres all strike out swinging. 1, 2, 3. They are lifeless. They cannot hit with men on. It's the same old with this team. I'm sure they'll have another run where they'll, try and make you think that they're going to be capable of turning it around. I've seen enough of this team. We're almost, at the midway point of the year. I've seen enough from the Yankee team that I can say this. They're just not very good. They are what the record says they are. And right now they're a team that's 2 games over 500. That's it. This team is so deeply flawed. Defensively, they're not very good. They don't run the bases well. They don't have any speed. And if they're not going to hit with men on base, they don't have a chance. Most of their home runs they do hit never come with runners on. They're all solo shots. It's not good enough. The Yankees have like the lowest percentage of home runs with men on base. And look, Aaron Boone's going to come out yesterday and say that their season's on the line, and then that's the effort you get. Michael King in the first inning, he always allows a run. His ERA is like 14.5 in the first inning this year. And then he says after the game, well, I'm getting too cute. I got to attack hitters. Yeah, you think? He's like, oh, well, I'm thinking about, facing guys in their second and third at bat, and I'm not trying to show them too much, and I'm getting too cute with it. Dude, you're not going to get a third at bat with the Angels. The Yankees are going to go to the bullpen early. That's what they do. Don't think about the third at bat. Come out as if you're a reliever and attack guys. He's throwing a curveball to Ohtani. That's his 4th pitch. Just terrible. Terrible. And I have no confidence the Yankees are going to turn this around. None. And they're more likely to me to be sellers than buyers at the deadline if this continues. I mean, for them to win 7 of 9 and then follow that up with a 4-game losing streak now, it's just pathetic. It is so stupid. Clint Frazier, 2 for his last 19, 5 for his last 31. That's 161. He's not a major league player right now. He needs to be sent down to AAA. Gleyber Torres used to be this young phenom on this team. He's got 6 home runs the last 2 seasons. He had 38 in 2019. What has happened to his power? He's out of funk. It's become mental now. This team never gets a big hit. Brett Gardner is now being forced to play every day. He's a 4th outfielder at best at the stage of his career. He can't be out there every day, but he is. Miguel Andujar is out of position, and he's not hitting now. Luke Voit was red hot when he first got back from the injured list last week. Now he's done nothing the last 4 games. Stanton hits a home run last night. These home runs come in meaningless spots. How about 9th inning when the Yankees need to get something going? Stanton strikes out. Judge in the 8th inning, unable to get the job done, pops out. They tease you. They put a couple runners on. You're thinking, all right, here comes the big inning. And then they never have the big inning. They're not very good. That's the reality. They're a 500 team right now. They're a fourth place team, 7.5 games behind the Red Sox in first place. It's embarrassing. And if they miss the playoffs, I think everything's on the table as far as organizational change. I don't think you can continue to run it back with Brian Cashman. And if you're going to get rid of Cashman, then Aaron Boone, who I don't think is truly at fault for this, I think the team is flawed. Aaron Boone's going to go too because the new GM's going to want to bring in his own manager. And then I love the Yankee fans that are like, oh, well, Hal didn't spend enough money this offseason. He gave Cashman a budget. You should be able to win with a payroll that's $208 million. Throwing money at the problem was not necessarily the answer. The Yankees haven't spent the money wisely. They had too many question marks with their rotation coming into the year with Tyone and Kluber. Tyone's been bad. Kluber's now hurt. Obviously, they couldn't have anticipated the lineup to hit like this, but why not bring in Kyle Schwarber, who hits a home run every night, whose swing would have been perfect at Yankee Stadium? That's a fair question that you could ask Brian Cashman. Why is Gleyber Torres this bad? Why is Miguel Andujar and Clint Frazier, why are they this bad? Doesn't make any sense. This team is deeply flawed, and I don't know why they can't hit with men on base. They've never been this bad. They've had issues in the playoffs with this, but it hasn't been this stark in the regular season. You know, everyone talks about the double plays the Yankees hit into, and it's certainly a problem. But the Houston Astros lead Major League Baseball in double plays. They have the best offense in the sport. Double plays happen when you have a lot of runners on base. Problem is, if you never hit with runners in scoring position, then the double plays get magnified. And that's what's happened with the Yankees. It has all been magnified because of their ineptitude to hit with runners in scoring position. 0 for 4 again last night. I mean, the Angels stink, and you're only scoring 3 runs against them? Come on. That's just pathetic. That can't happen. It cannot happen. They have been embarrassing during this stretch of play. And if they go out and win the next 3, I'm not buying into it because they've done this. They're too streaky. They're too inconsistent. Anyone that thinks the Yankees are, this legitimate team, they got to prove it over the course of a large sample size, not just a week where they win 7 of 9 like they did last week. And then how about this from Aaron Boone? So before the game, Aaron Boone, as I said, he says our season's on the line. And then they followed up those comments with a 5-3 clunker at home last night. So this was Boone postgame when asked about those comments.
You said before the game the season's on the line. Now, if they don't respond to that, what kind of options do you have? How do you make them turn it around?
We got to go do it. I mean, we can throw out all the sayings and talk is cheap, Brian. We got to go do it. And as disappointing and as frustrating as we are to not grab this first one, because especially coming off the weekend we had, we got to go play tomorrow and try and dig ourselves out of this.
How are you going to do that? How? I'd love to know how they're going to do that, because it just seems like this team is just dead. And the Yankees walk around and act as if, they're the best team and they just haven't played like it yet. There's no evidence that supports that. They were very mediocre last year in the 60-game season. And they have followed that up this year, and they're 2 games over 500. It's June 29th. What evidence do we have that they're going to be able to turn things around? There isn't any. They're more likely to be sellers at this point than they are buyers at the deadline, because they're not a move away. That's the sad reality for this team. This team with this payroll is not a move away. And if they miss the playoffs, I think you have to open yourself up for change if you're a house-time runner. I love Brian Cashman. I think he's done a great job overall in his tenure. But it's too many years now without a championship, and it seems like the team is going the opposite direction where it should be. After 2017, when they pushed the Astros to 7 games out of nowhere, a year in which they weren't even supposed to make the playoffs, they went to Game 7 of the ALCS, they replaced Joe Girardi with Aaron Boone because they didn't think Joe Girardi was now able to get this team to the next level. Boone was supposed to be the guy. They had this young core, and it hasn't worked. They have regressed. So change does have to be made here, because you can't just run it back. You got to get new people in there. And I'll say what I said yesterday if you missed it. Aaron Boone's not the problem. Do I think he's a great manager? I mean, I don't know how much managing you can really do nowadays with the way front offices are structured. But there's still an importance of a manager. Go look at the Red Sox now as far. But this, to me, is way more about Brian Cashman than it is Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone's doing what he's supposed to do, what the organization wants. And this team has been deeply flawed now for a while. And they're 2 games over 500 on June 29th. Bill Parcells said it. You are what your record says you are. And right now, the Yankees are a 500 team. Not very good.
Now at Banana Republic Factory, celebrate summer with 50 to 70%